How can you make sure you're always ready to do cool stuff with your pens? Well, I try to be prepared by always having a super awesome combination of 2 or 4 pens, so I'm always ready for anything. I thought a fun idea could be to show you guys what I tend to carry and which combination of pens I tend to use, and we could see if you would pick the same ones if we had the same combination. And there's 2 ways to go about this. One is by how the pens look on the outside. So I think I'm going to do that first and see what the combinations would be if I was just going by looks. And then I'll go by what pens actually have inks that go well together. So at that point, we'll take out this Midori pad and test some inks. But let's see if we're just being stylish with the kinds of pens that we have. I'm going to be real. I think my first set is going to be the EF, F, B, and M of the E95. Check that out. Is that not classy? So you could either have them all inked with Diatramentis Document Black, which basically is what I have, or you could do different ones. I think that could be a really classy set of 4. And then if we're going with matchy-matchy, the other combination is going to be a 2 set of the TWSBI Diamond 580. These are both stub nibs that I had ground into something else. And I think that would be a really cute set to just walk around with and be ready to go. Honestly, the reason I kept both of these is so I could do this, and I still haven't done this because I always need way more pens, but that'd be cute. And then the reason this idea came to me is because I always loved the combination of this 2023 Kobe gradation Decimo with the same colors in Lami's. I just think that looks so cool. And then I guess to make it really cool, either we'd go with the black. I don't know, that's a bit of a downer. Or in real life, I'd probably go with this one. And I just think that looks really cool. It's like a tropical set. I wonder. I think if we're okay with mixing tones, I think this Sailor 1911L could also look really cute with all these. But you can see it's the gold trim instead of the silver trim. I think that could bug some people. And then if we wanted to bring it down a notch, whoo, see how that changes the set? That's so cool. And I wonder if I do this instead of being stylish, as I've thought before, because this makes me feel like I'm wearing a nice outfit, which I rarely am. Let's see if we lighten the 1911L. Ooh, that looks nice. Cool. If we were going to go all matchy-matchy on the vanishing points, I think this is the set that I would put together. So I like stacking my stuff light to dark. So it might be something like that. And then what for the final choice? I mean, honestly, usually I'm probably going to do just like the 3 like this. But I wonder... Oh, there it is. This is what I do. So if I was taking my pilots out for a walk, it would be something like this. And then you've got this nice light to dark, but then also the variation of trims. That's nice. But of course, something I'm thinking about a lot when I go out with this stuff is the size of the nib I'm bringing, and then the quality of the nib, and then what ink is in it. And then let me show you how I go out and about with my sailors. It's pretty much always this little set. Or if that gold is bugging me, which I guess if the gold bugs me, honestly, what I'm doing is taking these 2 out, which is just a really nice classic look. Check that out. Beautiful. So this is the 1911L and the 823 from Pilot. And that is just, that is so classy. I love it. And just in case you're looking for some comparisons, I do like a bigger pen. And this is the Sailor 1911L on the left, and then the Pilot 823 on the right. You can see the Pilot's just a little bit bigger, but this is like the bigger, more comfortable Sailor to me. All right, and then what I'm doing with this one, honestly, I'm not sure I take the white one out all that much with the Sailor brothers and sisters. I'm more likely to do something like this. And these are 1911L Ringless, and then 1911L Fresca Stormy Seas, and then the King of Pen Winter Sky. That is sweet, and that's what I'm going to go out with quite a lot. Let me think if there's any more combinations. Yes, what I'll also do is I'll bring in this matcha latte into the mix with these pens. And then I might often have, but now we're getting into functionality because this isn't really a look that I go for. Okay, so let's enter the second phase. I'd love to hear if you weigh in what set you would go out with aesthetically. And I think if I had to pick, honestly, the sailor setup is just extraordinary. I don't think I could replicate that. So it'd either be the sailor or the vanishing pilots for sure. And then if we're talking about practically what I go out with, I would say I've been waiting to do this actually. Like if I had to do my absolute top 5 pens, like the whole collection is destroyed and I'm only keeping 5, or should we make it 4? It stresses me out, but okay, if all of my pens were destroyed and I could only keep 4 and they were going into this kit, this is the moment. This is what I'm going to pick. Oh my gosh, I'm actually a little nervous. It would be the E95 in the fine. And I think the fine, because the line writes really nicely, is just perfect for me. So let me write it out for you so you can see why this is happening. So this is the fine. I would choose the E95S because it writes absolutely perfectly. I had it tuned. And then the reverse write is just a very smooth reverse write. So this has a lot of flexibility. Honestly, if I was only allowed one fountain pen for the rest of my life, it would be this specific pen, like the one in my hand, not necessarily E95. If I had to choose, and we're picking just top 4, the ones I use, this is so funny. This is so difficult. I'm just going to do it, okay? So if I really had to use my instincts, this should not be this difficult. I'm going to surprise myself. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. So I know it's this. I'm pretty sure it's this because this nib in particular is just, this is my favorite nib. It's a medium. It's very juicy. So I'd probably, if I had to be tricksy, I would take the nib out of this and I'd put it in this body just because this pen is very important to me because my parents got it for me and I think it's gorgeous. But as it is, I only use it in that because of a reason I'll tell you in a minute. And I think it might be this pen. I'm really surprised by this. And then probably the runner-up would be this Lamy, because this was my first fountain pen absolutely ever. And the nib is just really great. But wow, this amazes me, honestly. Hold on, I need to process this for a minute. This is absolutely my top 4. And the reason, oh, that's fun. It's 2 pilots, 2 sailors. So versatility in sketching, 100%. Juiciness and awesomeness in writing. So let me take you on the tour, actually. Let me show you what's going on. And so I keep Birmingham Pen Company Saltwater Taffy in this one, and it is just so saturated. It is so nice. I'll zoom in a little bit. And just the way it writes every time, that was a misnomer. It's never hard started before. It's just so juicy. It's perfectly thick without feeling heavy. I don't know how to describe it. Like the 823 feels a little heavy-footed. This one never does. And then this is just the perfect writing medium to me for a sailor. So this would be the one. And it's lovely. It's bouncy while also having the sailor feedback. This is really lovely. And I got this in a trade. I traded a Lucky Charms King of Pen to someone. And it really stands out to me because they said this pen suits me anyway, which I thought was really sweet and made me happy that I spent so much time in the pen Slack, because to feel kind of seen by a stranger to say that like this pen has my character, I don't know. I really like that. It reminds me of a compliment I got in improv from another stranger who at the end of the course we were all giving compliments to each other, and he said that I was fearless when I went up to do different scenes. I don't always feel that way, so to have somebody see that in me just really stuck out. Anyway, and then finally, this would be the final pick. This is the 1911 ringless. Not necessarily because of the pen body, honestly. Like, I love how this selection worked out, but what got me here was the nib. And I actually had a request out if anybody has a regular sailor body in black, I'd trade you for a ringless. But yeah, nobody wanted to do that. Maybe I should ask again. But this nib in particular, it's a Naginata. And so it's not inked right now because I was deciding, do I go with my old standard of Milky Ocean, which I always have in this pen, or do I try it around a little bit? Because you never know what you'll discover if you try a new nib with a new ink. Well, let's go ahead and get one out because I wanted to try it in a bunch of different fun things anyway. Tesla coil. So I would love something that shades. I'm going to do Monarca Cielo Cruel. And I'm not sure if, there's different pronunciation because sometimes Starbucks has a coffee that is like that. And I think I always say it wrong. But let me just get a little, let's try this. I didn't quite saturate the feed. And so top pick. And the reason is, again, it's just such a good writer. And I think I was surprised because this isn't the most versatile pen when it comes to sketching. Like all of the mini pages that I do with this pen, I don't really like. But when it comes to writing, especially if it's time for me to do a long writing session in my long book, let me see if I can find a page that I did with this. It is just very satisfying to write with for a long time and it ends up looking really beautiful. I guess it's been a while since I've done a full page. I guess that blue is kind of it. Yeah, happy birthday to me in October. So it's just so thick and it's a really beautiful line. I think that's why there you go. This is the one. So this is why I like it. It's just very satisfying. I keep saying the word satisfying, but that's what this nib is because it grips the paper in that sailor way and has a really pleasant drag. And then the way shading works on it is just gorgeous. So some of my favorite inks are shaders, and that's what I use this pen for. So I think this set of 4 would cover me for all the things about ink and pens that I've come to love and that I would really need for my collection to stay happy. Now, am I going to keep all these pens? Yes, I do like and use all these pens. So that's what's happening, but that is my set. If I had to make a backup set, so let's say those 4 pens did not exist anymore, and I had to choose 4 more favorites. Now I get to show off my runners up. It would definitely be the 823. This is a juicy medium. It's versatile. It's lovely. It reverse writes. It's just nice. I'm glad I didn't rush out and get this super fast. I'm not sure I would have appreciated it, but this is just a really nice, excellent pen. But it doesn't get better than that. Then I would choose a Decimo, and this is a fine, but it's closer to an EF. And I think this is just a wonderful pen if it was inked or not hard starting. Sorry. I haven't used it in a couple days. I should really clean that out. So this would be my runner-up. Let's see. Then we would have to start shopping sailors. And it would either be this Stormy Seas or this 1911. They're both 1911Ls. But it'd be this Stormy Seas or this white one. I just have a soft spot for this one because I got a great deal on it, gray market. And then I have a soft spot for this one because the writing experience, this was one of the first really notable, like, oh my gosh, I love it. I need it. Writing experiences. So I guess I'm going to pick that one. But this is my first really classic M experience. That was lovely. And then what is the final touch? It's funny. I'm looking around because I actually have this and this for sale. So I'm trying to clear these out as well as the Fresca because I'm just not using them as much as I love them. It does bug me that these two wouldn't match. So that would bug me in the long term. So I bet what would really happen is I would keep this classy set together. I would let them be buddies. And then over here, I would build the pen collection of the future. And so, see, I wanted to bring in these, but the rose gold would bug me again. I think these need to be in a set as well. So maybe what would ultimately happen is something like, oh, wow, look at that combo we didn't do. Isn't that interesting how it kind of turns into a completely different collection if you're just looking at these colors? And then maybe let's throw in a brown. Ooh, we just discovered something cool. I think this is my favorite color combo that we've done. It's just classic. It feels like really classic. And then ink color-wise, this has black, black, brown, blue. So that wouldn't be too bad either. Wow, did we just stumble on? So this would be the, oh, was wrong. I put blue in this. Usually I have Diatramentus in there. See, I have these pen habits that I've been trying to break, so I'll put colors I'm not used to in pens. Dude, this looks nice. Honestly, I think we just stumbled on like a really perfect combination of pens. I'm going to leave it like this, honestly. Maybe I'll do my next couple spreads with it. Isn't that a nice combo? I love it. Another regular ink combo that I'll carry around, and this is important because when I'm doing my Hobonichi and kind of like sketchbook journaling kind of thing, I really like to have coordinating colors. So this is a new set that I really like, but I'll also make sure that I have this navy. I've talked about liking contrast before, so I do that a lot. And then this taffy, and then this light blue, which is Troublemaker Milky Ocean, and then a black. And I usually make sure I have all those colors with me. Then if I need to, I'll sub in this Opera Rose, which is kind of like a brownish, dusky pink. Very cool. And I think we went through all the pens that I have. The only baby that got left out was this champagne pink Decimo. And the reason behind that, I had this dream of taking a Decimo and finding a Cerakote manufacturer who could spray all the parts of a Decimo into a black matte Decimo. How cool would that be? Right now, it's just a dream project because I can't get my crap together and mail it out. You also have to take it apart, and I haven't looked up how to take apart these pens. But I did find a manufacturer to try it. Well, that's my set. We came up with a brand new combination that I super like, and I'm going to try this out on a spread sometime, maybe for next week. Thanks for playing along, and if you have a combination that you really love, I'd love to hear what it is. It's always fun to see how other people see your collection.